It's Madden NFL 22 on EA Sports, where London will play host to a different kind of football. It's the Browns and the Black Knights, next on EA Sports.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle with the Cleveland Browns. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talked about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. From his end zone, here comes Carter. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center. 1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there, a jumbo package look. Escaping the pressure right. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. A little glimpse of his athleticism there and what they're going to have to deal with. He can use his legs to dance around back behind the line of scrimmage and beyond the line of scrimmage.
And wouldn't you love to get a copy of their defensive scouting report going into the week? Because that's been stressed the whole time. Keep him bottled up. Keep him in the pocket. But it's the first drive of the game and emotions are running high. Someone forgot that, tried to make a big play, and gave up a bigger one instead.
The numbers on the ground for ETN last week. 11 carries, 56 yards, and a touchdown.
He's been a huge part of their winning streak because he establishes not just an identity and a tone, but the team relies on it. He takes care of the football, he gains yardage for him, chews up clock, and that's been a big part of why they're winning games lately.
That's going to be caught. It's Chenault. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. And early on, they're picking up right where they left off last week.
And I know a lot of coaches say each game is its own. You don't really have carryover. This feels like carryover. So much confidence from the previous game that they're using to their advantage now.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Here's a give to ETN. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a throw here to his running back. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short. A handoff for ETN. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Every time. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And this one almost intercepted. Not a good throw there. Nearly an opening drive INT. Off the play fake. He'll look to throw. Left side here. That's the tight end Fant. Touchdown. Noah Fant. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Black Knights march right down the field on the opening drive to take a first quarter lead. The point after is good, and that makes the score 7-0. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Takes it at the 7. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Here come the Browns on offense with Baker Mayfield, the former #1 overall pick at quarterback.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. We thought this defense would be opportunistic, and they were. Here you're already up. Now you got a 2-touchdown lead. I'll tell you, going out there on defense, did they have a little bit of extra momentum with a score already on the board?
Oh, without a doubt. That already felt good to them. They took it and used it and obviously put up another one. But here's the thing now. Some defense coordinators might want to pull their guys back a little bit because they don't want them to make mistakes because they're too overamped. Others say, I've got 2-touchdown lead. Even more aggressive.
The extra point up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. Takes it at the 7. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. There's Baker Mayfield as he and the Browns offense comes back out. And now, Charles, this becomes a pretty important second drive for them. They're already down a pair of scores here in the first quarter.
As you noted, they're down 2 scores, and to me, they're down a possession or a service break if this were tennis, right? Because they just gave one up. Only their second drive now. Run their offense, try and get back into the game that way, and then look for some help from their defense.
Trying to forget about that pick 6 last time out. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. A check on the numbers for Chubb from a week ago. There isn't a coach alive who wouldn't like those numbers. Well over 100 yards and a touchdown, too.
Partner, I think all the coaches who are in that great coaching box in the sky would take those numbers.
So dead or alive?
Either way, they would take that kind of production.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The start of the second quarter, and it's the Browns in control of the football as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. Pressure comes, and down goes Baker Mayfield. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive. And they had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position. I
have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. But 3rd down coming up. On 3rd down, here's Etienne. And he gets this to the 48, but no further. Well short of the line to gain. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Cleveland offense making their way out. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On 2nd and 9, Mayfield. And that is incomplete here. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And he's got the hook up to Landry. There he goes, left side. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Well, we know that he can beat you in a number of ways. He can catch it short, he can take it long, or he can do what we just saw right there, catch it and then run with the football.
And I caught a quick glimpse of him before the ball was snapped, and there was something about his body language where you could tell early in this play he wasn't just thinking first down. He was thinking end zone, and he got there.
Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Here's Carter now on the return. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far, here in the second quarter. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And this one's incomplete. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter. 14-7. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. So they bring out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. "47-yard punt, a return of 4. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield.
And that's going to be caught by Peoples-Jones.
They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. To throw, Mayfield. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. He probably wants to improve how he's been playing. There's no doubt about that. But you don't want to overthink it too much and reinvent the wheel when your team's up, right?
That's so true. Because now if you're just worried about how you're playing, even though the team's winning, That's a selfish side of you that you don't want out there, and that's not what the best quarterbacks exhibit. So here's an opportunity to go ahead and guide the team, try and get better as the game goes along. But remember, your team's winning. Things are pretty good.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That is taken in by the tight end Fant. And he is out of bounds right around the 34.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. But 3rd down coming up.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. On play action, they'll throw. Steps away. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield.
Certainly making his presence felt in both the pass and the run game. He's having an impact.
Yeah, his first carry of the game right there. He had hurt him with his arm. Now he's showing that he can shuffle the puppies as well. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
That'll be caught right side. Chenault with it. And he's going to have a first down, and they get into field goal range here at the 29.
And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and that will do it for this first half. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game, as it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as we say goodbye to September and take a look around the NFL here on this first day of October. From there, we head down south to Tampa to check on the Bucs at home at Raymond James Stadium. And for the moment, they find themselves trailing the visiting Carolina Panthers. 2 touchdown passes there for Jameis Winston. Lastly, let's get to Pittsburgh. Check on the Steelers at home at Heinz Field. And they currently trail in that game against the visiting Patriots. Mac Jones with a couple of touchdown passes. On to a look at the next-gen stats for the Browns in that first half. And they will need to get this passing game in gear because they did not do much of anything in that first half. And it's why the scoreline is what it is. Meanwhile, for our home team, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half. Both teams making their final adjustments. We're closing in on the second half. And for the call, let's get you back over to London, where we rejoin Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half.
Fielded right around the 8. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started.
And right out of the gate, they face what you think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A big play there on the catch and run. The thing that hurt on that play, the missed tackle, that allowed the extra yardage.
It's a matchup game in the NFL. You get the guy that you want isolated, have him miss a tackle, and off you go.
Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. Pressure comes and down goes Baker Mayfield. K'Lavon Chason in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Cleveland. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end, and he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45.
That's another beautiful throw right there. Gets it to his man right in stride, and I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm. They've been sharp. They've been on it, and they pick up another first down there.
He's got the first down here inside the 30. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
On 1st and 10, it's Etienne. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches. And they'll go again with Etienne. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 52 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. Welcome back now here in London. We have played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Black Knights are going to be moving to 4-0 as they extend their lead. An important score there, CD, and now an important extra point because it would make it a 3-score game.
Love the math there, and at this point in the 4th quarter, look, we all need next-gen stats, right? We all use them, but we don't need them here, do we? Because that means it's almost a certain victory.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. He'll have a first down past the 40. And he'll get this all the way up to the 42-yard line.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding second half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a first down there, and for the offense, they're hoping that that's something that they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them here the entire second half.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Here's Mayfield. That's complete to Peoples-Jones. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
He'll take a shot for the end zone. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Meanwhile, Mayfield's throw taken in by Landry. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down. To throw on 2nd and 10. Mayfield. They'll go again for Landry, and this one's complete. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. From the gun, Mayfield. That is knocked away and incomplete, but a penalty flag. In the backfield, this might be a roughing call. Well, instead of 4th down after the incompletion, it'll be 1st down, roughing the passer.
Coaches love their defenses to be aggressive, but they want them to be smart as well. Have to leave the quarterback alone at a certain point.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's on the guard, Wyatt Teller. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. And now they're in the hurry-up. 2nd and 14. Flush to his right. Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. And they'll send out their punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. The good kick, 48 yards, 4 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But
and Mayfield again with the interception, his 3rd. Picked up by Andre Sisco. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
Shedding the tackle, and he will reach the 8-yard line before going out.
Not sure how you feel about it, but to me, I think we're seeing it in front of our eyes. This league continues to change. Look at the moves you ordinarily get from a running back from the quarterback position.
Yeah, that's like a Le'Veon Bell type move right there, but you're exactly right. The game's kind of evolving in that way, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the quarterback is rapidly becoming an extra running back as well.
Good yardage on first down. Now can they punch it in on second and goal? Etienne. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, and now it's third and goal. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. They've got it third and goal here as they try to finish off their victory. Trying to barrel up in there, but I don't think he got it. Only a few inches needed on the sneak. He didn't get it, and now it's fourth down. It's a quarterback sneak. Try to wedge his way in there. No signal. I don't think he got there. He did it. They try the sneak, but not enough push. He doesn't get in. And the are able to come up with a goal line stand. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, second and 2. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down. After the incompletion, here now, third and 2. Mayfield. He's going to let it fly. And incomplete on the deep ball.
That's an excellent job right there on third down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a first down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty. And before this drive could get wings, it's fourth down.
And just a 30-yard punt that time. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. London about set to take over on offense. And it would seem as if their 3-game winning streak is about to go to 4, but still a little work to do as they start 1st and 10. And they'll indeed take a knee. And they will take a knee here. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. And they take a knee. So plenty of smiles for the folks here as they head for the exits. It's a victory for their hometown guys. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the home team here, That early momentum continues here as they move to 4-0. And now it's off to Heathrow as they get set to fly back to the U.S. in a couple hours. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers.